Hello everyone, this is the second half of the season 3 review on Search Party. I'll be focusing on the 4 main characters, with a special focus on Dory. In the later half of the video, we'll be talking about her terrible mental state. Okay, so change of plans. I will not dive into Dory's mental state in this video. I'll just be doing reviews in episodes 1 through 9, and then in the season finale episode, I'll put that portion in the season finale episode review. Episode 6. Drew and Dory are prepping for their trial. Cassidy Diamond, Dory's lawyer, isn't explaining her strategy at all, so Dory's gonna go in blind at court. When the trial actually starts, the prosecution accused Dory of using her feminine wiles to kill Keith.
Dory Thief is an attractive woman, all right? But with that attractiveness came sexual confidence. Sounds good. But that turned into sexual deviance.
The prosecutor mentions accountability and the consequences of not being punished. Which she has a point. Drew and Dory killed Keith, and because of that, Dory killed April. I wonder, had they been dealt with from the start, would there have been another murder? Because the next victim ended up being an innocent person. Diamond's opening statement was kind of, There are literally no words. Drew's lawyer Bob isn't any better either. Portia is a key witness for the prosecution against Dory. She takes a stand and is asked how she met Dory and is asked about how she feels about her. During the scene, we get a glimpse of how drastic Dory has changed in her battles with mental health in season 1.
After this whole era, it's sort of my opinion that she really resents that she just doesn't have a sense of self. And now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I didn't ever want to even look for Chantal. I just did it because I loved my friend and I was very worried about her mental health. Yeah. I would like to add that while I was coerced into burying the body, I sensed in her no remorse. She was hostile, and to be frank, full of vitriol.
Wow.
Diamond performs a little better when she presses Portia on her alleged statements towards Dory. It's here that I see Diamond has a promise of being a good lawyer. Diamond gets Portia to crack, and it's a win for her and for the defense in general.
Who would use a word like vitriol? Dare I say it was coached into you? Is that true? Better question, is your baby blue existence in this courtroom due to the fact that you were coerced by the police into agreeing with the fabricated lies? Objection!
So Elliot is doing a TV interview with the famous conservative Charlie. At first he goes in there with good faith and he's just trying to save his image or to become somewhat famous. I really can't tell at this point. And Charlie starts to bombard him with all this BS. And he gets tired of it and he decides to serve up some insults too.
Underfunded pride parade!
You book-burning gas chamber with penis envy!
Apparently this makes for really good television, so Charlie continued to egg him on and they work really well together. I would low-key say that Charlie is the female version of Elliot. They both have no moral fiber and they're both funny as hell. The chemistry is so good that there's evidence that they will work together again in the later episodes. Episode 7. We open with Chantal giving an interview, and let me keep you up to date on things from the past 5 episodes. Chantal has been trying to start her own business so she can make enough money to make up for spending her reward money. Ever since the trial broke out, she figures since she lied about what really happened to her, she needs to pay back the money. Now on to the gang. Elliot is on the witness stand defending Dory and Drew. He is a character as always. When the prosecution cross-examines him, we find that Elliot's whole life is a lie. Like literally, he constantly spouts so much BS, it gets a little sad.
Statements that you've made publicly. Is it true that you proudly attended the NASA space camp as one of 10 kids to be launched into outer orbit? According to a What's in My Pockets feature from the 2015 edition of Accomplishments magazine. Now remember, Mr. Goss, you're under oath, so.
No.
Okay.
But that magazine is run by like a predator. It's.
Were you the Gerber baby from age 3 months to 8 months?
No.
Okay. Did your grandfather invent fish sticks, as you've stated numerous times to former coworkers and friends?
No, but I admire that man greatly, and what even is a grandfather?
Okay.
I object.
How did Dory's lawyer miss this huge trait? All the lies affects his relationship with his fiance, Mark, but Mark quickly gets over it and is still gung-ho about getting married. I think Elliot's fiance will just settle for anything. He just wants to get married, like he just wants the title. Side note, Drew is getting a lot of love from the public, like the signs and even from the jury, the friendly juror. Oh my gosh. I feel like out of the two, Drew was having it a bit easier. Dory and Drew have an unexpected problem when the prosecution gets their hands on a videotape of them buying the luggage Dory and Drew stuffed Keith in after they killed him. Now on to Portia. She's still hanging with her church friends, and I'm still gushing over Joel Kim Booster being a guest star. There's one point where she's singing with them and she kind of outs his character, and it's so funny.
I love music, you know?
Yeah. Gay guys are just always so talented regardless of whatever their religion is.
Well, I'm not gay.
Peter's my boyfriend?
I'm not gay. I love gay people. It's nothing against gay people. We pray for gay people all the time. It's just I'm not gay, and so it's.
So.
We also get more scenes of Dory's psycho best friend being completely crazy, attacking people from online, and he hand delivers a present to her, a doll that looks just like her. Drew and Dory, they hired a bodyguard because of her stalker. Elliot is getting married, and the whole gang goes to the wedding, so does the bodyguard. Mark, Elliot's fiance, has model friends and his 2 moms that show up, and that's literally the only interesting thing I know about him. Dory's stalker also turns up at the wedding. He disguises himself as a help, and he's definitely going to plan something, but we don't know what yet. Dory is definitely taking every chance she has to milk her fame, which is really annoying. Anyways, on to Drew. Drew has a nice convo with Mark, and he admits to Drew that he likes being abused, which makes total sense, because if you've seen Mark throughout the seasons, Elliot has treated him like shit, and I've always felt a little sorry for him, but he is partially responsible for being in this toxic relationship. Chantal, on the other hand, is making business connections at the wedding, and the business connection is played by Wallace Shawn, and his character is super shady. The ceremony starts and it looks super gorgeous. Like, I'm really surprised with how fancy it looks. Portia is singing "I'll Make Love to You," and she has a really good tone. Elliot comes down in the aisle in a little chariot, but unfortunately Mark doesn't make it to the aisle. In fact, he dips and he leaves a note on one of the bathroom mirrors saying, and I quote, "If there's no abuse, there's no us." In lieu of Mark's absence, Elliot calls off the wedding, but the sponsors of the wedding won't allow it. So everyone takes a little break, and while everyone is chit-chatting, they come back to the altar area. All of a sudden, while playing a kind of a game around the altar area, people start to hear screams. They quickly find out that it's Portia screaming. Turns out Dory's stalker drugged Portia and carried her off to a basement area, but her mic was still on so people could still hear her shrieks. The stalker covers Portia's body in honey, and he has rats at the ready to come chew at her. I guess he uses rats to symbolize Portia because she's a rat on telling the truth on Dory. The gang goes out searching for her, and they actually find her. During the scene, Portia forgives Dory, and they have a moment. The stalker runs out and gets hit by a car. Oh, shit! Which we can assume that he's dead. After that whole debacle, everyone goes out to Elliot's home to help console him after a hard day. Episode 9. So we are back at court. The defense has found a solution to the zebra luggage issue with the help of Gail. The defense bought a new luggage and fabricated a story that the luggage had been at Dory's employer's house during the time of the murder of Keith. So therefore, Dory and Drew didn't bury Keith. Everyone is buying the defense's story, but everything goes to shit when June, April's sister, bursts into the courtroom accusing Dory of killing April. June states that April wrote in her diary, and their twin language, keep that in mind, that she had a tape where Dory and Drew admitted to killing Keith. And because of that, June alleges that Dory killed April to hush her up. Everyone dismisses June's allegation because of the whole twin language thing, and no one can decipher the diary but her. But Drew is shocked, and there's a part of him that believes it. Right after the whole debacle, the court takes a recess, and the lawyers ask Dory and Drew if anything to the allegation, and if the tape existed, and if it did exist, would it mean bad news for them. Dory denies any tape or any damaging evidence, and Drew can't take it anymore and blurts out the truth that yes, there is a tape, and yes, it's damaging. Diamond is trying to convince Dory to commit to a mistrial,
Chaos.
and then this weird scene
I think that
happens.
this is grounds for a mistrial.
No. We're doing well, right? So why would we backpedal?
I would be able to build a much better case story now that I know the truth.
And what do you mean, the truth?
What do you mean, the truth?
Cut back to the trial, and the prosecution has reconstructed the tape that Dory tried to destroy at the police station in episode 1. They were able to fix it enough to listen to a portion of it, and it basically proved that Drew and Dory, it had them arguing on it and admitting to killing Keith Powell. But during the playback of the audio, the words didn't seem crystal clear to everyone in the courtroom, which I don't know how, but it seems like everyone in the courtroom heard something different. Like, some people heard murder, some people heard pancake.
I know we murdered Keith, okay?
We murdered Keith.
I heard pancake.
What?
I beg your pardon?
I didn't hear murdered. I heard pancaked.
I actually heard pancake too. Your Honor, I heard pancaked as well.
Meanwhile, Elliot is trekking around the countryside trying to get to his hometown. After the whole wedding debacle, I think he's just kind of lost and trying to find himself and trying to see why he's always lying. Elliot finally meets up with his mother and tries to ask her if there's anything wrong with him from his past that made him so fucked. Elliot's mom is about to mention some things, but the moment is interrupted when Elliot gets a call from Charlie. She pitches him a spot on her show, to which he immediately accepts and just dips. Now for the last scene, we see Dory fire her lawyer on the basis that she doesn't think her lawyer believes her innocence. Diamond is a little disturbed but mostly shocked that Dory is so crazy.
You're fired!
Okay, thank you so much for watching. Like I said earlier, I will be doing an episode 10 review, the season finale review, at a later time, and I'll put in that Dory mental state goodness in there. Yeah, so my overall thoughts on these episodes, pretty good. I'm really surprised how much information each episode has, and it's still an easy watch. Like, I wasn't exhausted. I really am surprised that Search Party isn't bigger than what it is now, but I think with HBO it could possibly help its popularity. We already know that season 4 is going to come out from the posters I've been seeing, so hopefully everything goes well. And thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe down below. Do whatever you want. Okay, goodbye.